evening. I'm Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. Voters in District 8 in Prince George's County are preparing to go to the polls for a special election. The County Council has set a date. Byron Scott has our story.
The date for the special primary election for District 8 is scheduled for January 4th. That's a Tuesday. Here are the expected contenders thus far. School board member Edward Burrows and former delegate Tony Knotts. Now, Burrows announced his bid the same day council member Monique Anderson Walker resigned to devote her time to the race for lieutenant governor. Now, once again, that date is set for Tuesday, January 4th. Here's what the voters need to know.
It will be a vote by mail election. All voters, registered voters in District 8 will receive a ballot, and they can drop it off at one of our 3 drop boxes that will be in that district, or they can drop it back here at the Board of Elections.
So they can vote early and in person that day of?
Yes, they can vote early. Early voting will be for 6 days. We will exclude the 31st of December as well as the 1st of January. However, they can vote at the Southern Regional Technology Center in Fort Washington.
And that's early and the day of?
Early voting and the day of.
After the primary is the general election. That is set for Tuesday, February 1st. In Largo, Byron Scott, CTV News.
By this time tomorrow, we should know the new council district lines for Prince George's County. A public hearing and vote are scheduled for this afternoon. The process has been shrouded in controversy since an alternate map was introduced. That map was viewed as more aggressive than one put forth by an independent commission. It also drew protests countywide. Whatever lines are approved tonight will remain in place until the next census. Members of a Maryland Senate work group are questioning the equitable distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine among 5 to 11-year-olds. Senators grilled Health Secretary Dennis Schrader yesterday about the state's plan. The Hogan administration has encouraged school-based vaccine clinics for children. Schrader says nearly 60,000 children in that age group have been vaccinated since distribution began less than 2 weeks ago. He says the state also plans to begin analyzing any racial or socioeconomic disparities this week.
But the data we have shows that much higher rates of vaccinations among Asian Americans, white Americans, Latino Americans, much lower among African Americans. Now, part of that is there is more hesitancy among some parts of the African American population. The parents didn't get vaccinated, and those parents probably aren't going to have their kids get vaccinated. But most African Americans have gotten vaccinated, adults have. And so we would expect and hope that most African American children would be vaccinated as well. But right now, we're way behind among African Americans.
Senator Clarence Lamb, who is a physician, also sits on the work group. He voiced concerns about the staggering number of children behind on their regular school required vaccinations. There are currently 23,000 school children who have fallen behind, compared to pre-pandemic level of 62 in 2019. Washington, D.C. is lifting its indoor mask mandate. The new policy takes effect next Monday with some exceptions. Mayor Muriel Bowser says private businesses can keep the mask mandate in place. She also says masks will still be required at nursing homes, dorms, and assisted living centers.
On public transportations like buses and trains, inside train stations, in airports, and riding in shared vehicles, a mask will continue to be required. In schools, child care facilities, and libraries, a mask will continue to be required.
Meantime, 98 children in Montgomery County were given diluted doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. They're all students at South Lake Elementary. The county health department found out about the issue on Saturday. Parents were called yesterday. The children will have to get an additional shot. A clinic will be held at the school tomorrow for the impacted children. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The state health department has identified 702 new cases. The Prince George's positivity rate stands at 2.46%. 7 people have died from COVID-19 since yesterday. 509 are hospitalized. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. Still to come, a busy holiday travel season. We have some advice from AAA. Stay with us.
You're not alone. Millions of people are in debt. But there's hope and help from members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. Convenient, knowledgeable, nonprofit, here for you. And you. And you. Be one of the 5 million people who will put debt in its place by 2020. Speak with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today and put debt in its place. Go to nfcc.org/enddebt or call 844-359-3823.
Thank you for staying with us. More than 1 million Marylanders are expected to travel to see their loved ones during Thanksgiving next week. That's according to AAA. The Motor Club projects more than 990,000 people will be hitting the roads by car, more than 70,000 residents will travel by plane, and about 12,000 will travel by other modes of transportation.
We are seeing that despite the fact that we are in the midst of the pandemic, we are having an increase of about 12% over last year's travel projections for the holiday. We're also seeing that travelers, consumers, their sentiment as it relates to COVID-19 has improved, with only 10% of Maryland drivers indicating that they viewed COVID as a significant risk to keep them from traveling.
AAA says the worst day to travel is Wednesday, so it's urging you to leave either next Monday or Tuesday. A pedestrian is dead following a hit-and-run crash on the ICC this morning. All lanes on this section of the ICC between Georgia Avenue and Lay Hill Road were shut down for almost 5 hours while police investigated the incident. Police say they are looking for a silver or gray vehicle with front-end damage. Anyone with information on this crash is asked to contact police. That number is 410-537-6905. A 16-year-old tragically lost his life in a shooting in Upper Marlboro over the weekend. Now the county's police department is offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to an arrest and indictment. Officers found the victim, Quincy Barnes, suffering from a gunshot wound in the 13800 block of Ascot Drive Saturday around 4:30 p.m. He was transported to a hospital where he died of his injuries. If you have any information on this case, you're urged to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. Well, November is the time to shine the light on Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and this year a national advocacy group is calling for increased screenings. The American Lung Association released its annual State of Lung Cancer report today. The findings show that the 5-year survival rate increased nationally to 23.7%. Here in Maryland, the survival rate is at 26.1%. However, only 6.4% of eligible residents are being screened for lung cancer.
There's a lot of risk factors for lung cancer: smoking, exposure to secondhand smoke, radon. But smoking is one of the largest risk factors. And so if you're a smoker or a former smoker, we're encouraging those folks to talk to their doctors about their eligibility for screening.
For more details on lung cancer screenings, visit savedbythescan.org. The mayor of Cambridge is arrested and charged with distributing revenge porn on Reddit. 32-year-old Andrew Bradshaw faces 50 counts of distributing nude photos of a former partner to an online forum without her consent or knowledge. He allegedly posted the photos captioned with racial slurs and sexually explicit language to forums related to sexual activity, humiliation, and other topics. Maryland's revenge porn law carries a penalty of up to 2 years in prison and a $5,000 fine for each count. And we'll be back with more news in a moment. Stay with us.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death, or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. Gubernatorial candidate Peter Franchot and his running mate Monique Anderson Walker announced 24 new endorsements, many of whom are municipal leaders from Prince George's. Elected members who form a progressive bloc on the local school board are coming out in support of the ticket. Those members include David Murray, Belinda Queen, Shayla Adams Stafford, Kenny Harris, and Joshua Thomas. It also includes Edward Burrows, who is campaigning for Anderson Walker's recently vacated District 8 council seat. Former state delegate Angela Angel could be adding her name to a growing list of Democrats seeking a newly vacated congressional seat. Angel created a campaign last week enabling her to raise money for a possible 2022 race, according to Maryland Matters. The District 4 seat is being vacated by Representative Anthony Brown, who is running for Maryland Attorney General. Delegate Jazz Lewis and former State's Attorney Glenn Ivey have already announced their plans to run for the seat. Bowie State University students, listen up. You could receive a scholarship for $2,500 to take digital skills classes at the university. It's from the Capital Collab, an initiative of the Greater Washington Partnership. The scholarship is only for 10 scholars at BSU. Students will receive a data analytics certificate. They'll be able to take classes including business statistics.
This initiative or this program, it equips students with the required skills, abilities, and knowledge. Basically, those are required for today's job and future jobs.
The deadline is January 14th. For more information, visit the website on your screen. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 37. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 66. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 71 and a chance of evening showers. Friday, sunny and cool with temps dropping to a low around 48 degrees. And now for the community calendar, the Military Bowl returns to Annapolis. The annual college football game hosted at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium is scheduled for Monday, December 27th at 2:30 p.m. The event features one team from the ACC and another from the AAC. Tickets are on sale now. Fans can purchase them on militarybowl.org/tickets. And that wraps up our CTV News update. I'm Keisha Butts. Have a good night.